Hey everyone, we're here right now in northeastern Wisconsin, not too far from Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and we just wanted to do a quick update video while we're here and talk about, how our last trip went and what our plans are for this upcoming trip we're going to do.
Our last trip went pretty well. We decided we liked it so much we're going to keep doing it. We're going to do another couple of trips.
This is Labor Day week. We're going to spend it here in northeast Wisconsin, and then we're going to hit up Michigan's Upper Peninsula and then work our way down into the Lower Peninsula and then Ohio, West Virginia, and spend the winter in Florida. And then once spring starts rolling around, we're going to work our way up the east coast of the United States all the way up to Maine. And there's a lot of states out east that I haven't been to.
Same here.
So we are excited to go check them out.
And then we do know, since we'll be up in Maine around the summertime, that we're probably going to need to spend another winter down near Florida or their surrounding states. So we probably won't be back home Wisconsin ways for a couple summers.
Yep. Yeah, we figure this trip out east is going to take us about 2 years, just because we take it 1 week at a time. We don't take very long trips. We go about 3 hours at a time.
Yep.
It's kind of our sweet spot. We like it. Well, when you're going that slow, it's going to take a while. So we'll be spending 2 winters down in Florida. And then after the second winter in Florida, we'll work our way back home and then maybe start heading out west.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
So as you guys know, last year we sold our house and we moved into our 26-foot travel trailer and we hit the road. We went through Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas.
Kansas was in there.
Yeah, there was a week in Kansas, Louisiana,
Illinois.
Yep, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. So yeah, we wanted to talk about some of our favorite parts of that trip. A lot of people have asked us what our favorite week was, what our favorite destination was, and it's hard to pick just one. We picked a few different places that, where we liked the food or something we did there, or we liked a campground we stayed at there, and we were going to talk about that.
Yep, so every time someone asks me, hey, what's the number one place you've been to, or you went, or the number one place on the trip, however you want to phrase it, it's always just there's way too much to narrow it down to just one spot. So of course I narrowed it down to, who had the great campground, what my key moments were, who had the best food. So if you checked all the boxes, you made it to my top 5. But a lot of factors come into narrowing it down, because a lot of the times we built in relaxed weeks where we didn't plan to do a whole lot. Definitely if we had a very busy adventure filled week before or whatnot. And then there's other areas where we just love the site. It was nice and relaxing. We got a water view. Wonderful.
Yep.
And then there's other spots where they had the key big moments, like climbing a mountain, going to Nashville, going to the big cities where there's tons of stuff for you to do, the bucket list places to go. So a lot of factors go into narrowing it down to which ones you really enjoyed. And there's some that are on the top that are not like major destinations. And that's just because, to be honest, we like to not necessarily be where everyone is. We like some of the relaxing weeks, which everyone's had some of the best experiences. Those are the ones on my list, but we'll start with the broad strokes, give you guys kind of an idea of what our top ones are.
I got B over here, that's fine.
Oh, I got gnats and weird things.
I don't know about your list, but I know one of my top 5s is I really liked Natchez, Mississippi. We stayed right on the Mississippi River. We actually stayed in Louisiana, but it was right across the bridge from Natchez. It was an easy 5-minute drive to get there, and it was just such a cool little city. It used to be like the richest city in the South for a little while, and so there's a lot of old antebellum houses and stuff in town there, and a lot of them, are privately owned, but a lot that you can still tour through. So we went to Longwood. Yep. That was the octagonal house. That was really cool. It was 8 stories, and the basement was the only part that was finished. The rest was not. So that was kind of interesting by itself. But we also went to there's a national park there. I think it was Melrose National Historical Park. Had an old plantation with a lot of the outbuildings and the big house that you can tour to, and that was really cool. And they did a they did a really good job talking about slavery and plantation life and all that while we were there. They didn't gloss over it. It was pretty cool seeing the old houses and stuff there and being right on the river.
No, I also had Natchez as one of my top 5s, mainly for the key moments because of all those really cool old looking houses that like you just don't get to see a whole lot of that anymore, let alone go inside of it. So I really like that. So yes, it was technically on my top 5 for the key moments for those nice old houses. I did like that we stayed right on the Mississippi River during that week. Got to chill in a hot tub. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So besides Natchez, I also had Mammoth Caves on my list, and again for the key moments because it's a national park. It's one of the biggest cave systems in America, if not the whole world, right? So definitely made it because it was a wonderful experience. I definitely plan on going back again, doing a different tour, maybe 2, depending on what we can get, since they definitely sell out sometimes way before the day, so we'll try to book those early. But I really did like the Mammoth Cave experience, and that is definitely on my top 5 list for key moments.
Yeah, I think we plan on going back there again someday too, to do a different tour. We did the historical tour and that was really cool, but they have all kinds of different tours you can do there, and yeah, I think it's totally worth going back and doing another one.
Yes.
That was a very cool area.
And now that we also know that we can do the hike, it does say that's pretty intense, but I think we did that one pretty well. We thought we were going to be really hurting after it, and we weren't. We made it. We were just more or less scared that we wouldn't be able to get back up after reading some of the, hey, be careful because we're not going to come get you, or if we do, it's not going to be a fun experience getting you out.
Or we didn't want to get stuck in fat man's misery.
Yeah. Yeah, but that wasn't too bad.
No.
Just I hit my head a couple times.
You hit your head.
Yeah. So I was able to tell her to really duck if I hit my head. I was recording during that time frame, so I was trying to make sure you guys got a good shot of Fat Man's Misery, and I just got bonked my head a couple times. But hey, all part of the experience, right? And at least that's part of the cave you can touch and not get in trouble for it, because how are you going to get through Fat Man's Misery and not touch something going through there? Because it's a little difficult, but we made it through and I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do more cave tours.
I guess another one of my favorite spots that we stayed at was Lake Charles, Louisiana. We stayed at Intracoastal Park and it was $12 a night.
Yes.
$84 for the week. That's just insane. The price definitely bumps it up, but not only that, we were right on the water and we got to see barges go by all day. But it was really cool to sit there by the water, watch the lift bridge go up and down, watch the barges go by, watch people fishing right there and crabbing. It was really cool. So the campground was really neat. And then I really enjoyed the food that we had there. Lake Charles has the Boudin Trail, which we hit a couple spots on there, and that was our first time trying Boudin and Boudin balls, and I think we both really loved it.
Yes, I could definitely get me some more, and the good news is places ship it out, so ha ha ha.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good. We tried some cracklins there too, both chicken and pork, and those were really good too.
Yeah, real close to the ocean.
Yeah, we took a trip to the Gulf of Mexico. It was only a half hour, so I was like, why not? And kind of hung out on the beach there for a little bit. It was January, so it wasn't like we were swimming or anything, but it was still pretty cool to be a half hour from the ocean. And then we also did the Circle Trail at, what is that place called?
Yeah, that's where we saw those migrating birds. Big old flock of them that's never ending, which is really cool, and some gators.
Yeah, there was like a 3-mile drive. It was like a loop you could drive around, and there were gators and all kinds of birds, and we saw like huge massive migrating birds come in. It was so loud, and we're not sure what kind of birds they were, but I've never seen that many of one kind of bird in an area. They have a boardwalk trail that we walked on, and we actually walked right over a gator there. We came back a second time around and he wasn't there anymore, so we don't know where he went, but he didn't cause us any harm or anything. We left him alone. It was still pretty cool to be that close to a gator in the wild.
Yep.
And and feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Lake Charles was a really fun week. It was really relaxing to be at the campground and just watch people fish and watch the barges go by, but there was also a lot of cool stuff to do and eat around there too.
Yeah, close driving distance. We also met some people that we
Yeah.
really like. We plan to meet with them later on, in our future travels. When we'll let them know when we're in the area and hopefully hang out with them some more because we met some cool bunch of ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really cool too.
Okay, so speaking about Lake Charles, another one on my list is actually Lafayette, Louisiana. So fairly close. We were there the next week after Lake Charles, and it was cold and it was dreary and it was windy. But what I really liked is what we did on the weekend. We went to Avery Island, and we went on that swamp tour. Okay, so for Avery Island, that's where we did the jungle gardens and the Tabasco tour, and then we also did a swamp tour, boat trip or whatnot. That was pretty cool. Just pretty much Avery Island where the jungle gardens are. That's what I really loved about Lafayette. And I'm sure they have other places that are similar or just as cool, but I definitely want to go back and look at all those live oak trees and explore around because we could spend hours there, and we did.
Yeah, we got there. We got to the jungle gardens in the morning and drove around, and we weren't expecting it to be as awesome as it was. So we definitely took our time driving around there, and then we had to leave and go to Lake Martin because we had that swamp tour booked, which was also very, very cool. But after that, we went right back to Avery Island to do the Tabasco tour and drive around jungle gardens again because it was so neat. There's so many, those live oak trees are just gorgeous down there. And then they got the bayou going through and all kinds of different flowers and trees and little walks you can do and stuff, and it was really neat.
Yeah, and we did talk to the ladies when we first got there about how long it should take. I think for most people they said, a couple hours. Well, we could spend there all day, so it really depends on who you are and what you want to do. But we highly recommend it. It's fun. I could probably go back a couple times in a week because I liked it that much.
Another one of my top places is actually our third week that we stayed in Missouri. We stayed in Annapolis, Missouri, which was a very small town, but it was so close to so many different state parks. We visited Johnson Shut-in State Parks, which was really, really cool. They had the river going through there, and there were so many rocks and stuff everywhere that created little waterfalls and cascades and little puddles everywhere, and you could just walk across these rocks. We got to fly the drone there because we were pretty much the only ones there when we went, and it was really cool. Another state park that was nearby was Elephant Rocks, which had these giant boulders kind of everywhere, but you kind of follow this trail up to the top, and then there's 6 or 7 huge boulders lined up there. It was really cool. It was weird because you're like, how did all this stuff end up here? But it's just a natural part of Missouri. It was really neat seeing all that. I think we also went to Tomsauk Mountain State Park, which had the highest elevation point in Missouri. And we got to drive right up there. We didn't even have to hike up the whole mountain, so that was cool. We ate at a place in town in Arcadia, Pilot Knob area. It was like an old church school or something like that, and they turned it into a diner. And the night we went, they were playing bingo, and so we got to play bingo for free, and someone won the coverall. She missed the $800 pot by 2 numbers or something, but you won a set of plates or something.
Yeah.
But
simple, great plates.
Hey, you won bingo.
I won bingo. It was free. We had a good meal. It was very enjoyable.
Absolutely. So that was a really cool week. It was also just really relaxing being at the campground. It was the end of October, so there weren't a whole lot of people there. It was just really quiet and nice. The owner let the dogs run around in the fields and stuff, so they really loved it too. It was just really cool. It was every night we could go somewhere because there was a state park or a state historical site or something, within a half-hour drive. Also that week, we went to Farmington, Missouri and ate at Catfish Kettle.
Yeah.
And that was delicious.
I like catfish now.
Yeah, didn't you get you got country fried steak, and I got their catfish because it's Catfish Kettle, and I think that was the first time you tried catfish?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least tried it and really enjoyed it.
She liked it.
And tartar. They have really nice homemade tartar there, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of tartar, but man, They had some really good tartar.
They had some really good food there for sure. I'd eat there again. So all in all, I thought that was a pretty good week.
Talking about climbing mountains, on my top 5 I had Pinnacle Mountain near Little Rock. I liked it. That was a key moment for me. I climbed a mountain. That was awesome. I was actually able to climb my first mountain. There were tons of other people there. I saw children doing it, which of course just made me feel a little self-conscious, where it's like these little kids are just climbing and running up a mountain, even dogs. And I'm over here taking my time. But there's other people that, you know, definitely older than me, you know, taking it nice and slow to get up there. I don't know how far they went, but either way, going all the way up the mountain, you can see some nice views, you know, even if you can't make it all the way up to the top. But it's definitely really fun thing that we did, and I enjoyed myself. So.
Yeah, Pinnacle Mountain was pretty cool. There's like a regular old dirt hiking trail you can take up pretty much almost all of the mountain, and then the very last part, it was like all rocks that you had to like scramble over to get to the top. And I tried.
She did try.
I was a little nervous about my footing and stuff on those rocks, so I stayed back. She went to the top, got some awesome views up there. And yeah, I'm proud of you for climbing that whole mountain. That was a feat.
Yeah, it was just like the last 100 feet or something like that, where it was, you literally have to just climb over boulders. And guess what? They move on you. So you're on it, trying to make your next step, and then it's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's like, oh. So you got to kind of plan where you're going to go, and hopefully the rocks don't move, or if they move, they don't move too much, so you can get up and down. No hassle, but just, if you do it, be safe, take enough water. But that's one of my key moments. I really liked going there and completing that.
Another one of my favorite weeks, and I think one of your favorite weeks too, was one of the first weeks that we did on this trip in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Yeah, Cedar Falls was really cool. I really liked the campground we stayed at there. We were at the George Wythe Memorial State Park, which had like 4 different lakes there.
Oh, yeah.
And a bunch of hiking trails and a really nice campground, and a bike trail that went through too. We biked part of it. It was technically in Waterloo, but it was like a 5-minute drive to downtown Cedar Falls, which I thought was a really neat downtown. The road kind of curved through downtown, and there were a lot of cool places there. I know we ate at that single speed brewery place.
Yeah.
That was really good. But the best part about Cedar Falls week for me is when we went out of town a little bit. We went to Cedar Rock State Park, which is actually, I mean, it's a state park, but it's also got a Frank Lloyd Wright house, which was really cool. We took it, it was free for one thing, which is awesome. I think they take donations, but we took like a tractor ride, wagon ride to the house, and then we got a tour of the Frank Lloyd Wright house.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 1950s like time capsule. Almost every single thing in that house, they still have the silverware. You know, the pots and pans, the little things that, you know, Frank Lloyd Wright wanted and designed for that house, because he designed all the furniture, every like dish that went in the house. It had to have his stamp of approval, and it actually does. That's one of the houses that actually does have his mark in one of the bricks, which is really nice to see. And that actually was my first Frank Lloyd Wright house going to and seeing. So that was really awesome, and it's actually so far my favorite house that we've been in on this trip. I've known we've seen a few, so that was really cool. I did like that it was free, and I did like that our tour was not rushed.
No.
You know, they want to show and discuss and talk to you about the key aspects of the house that makes it different. And it was truly, you know, an eye-opener, because Frank Lloyd Wright wasn't necessarily the easiest person to work with or have design your house. So it's like, oh, hey, you have a Frank Lloyd Wright house that's worth a good amount of money, but your roof leaks.
Yeah.
and he knows that was probably going to happen. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and any of the furnishings or whatever he put out there, you couldn't change it.
Oh.
I think the lady that owned the house, she had like a cookie jar or something that was hers, and Frank Lloyd Wright hated that she had it out, but she had something of hers out, and so she kind of rebelled a little bit.
Yeah, they eventually agreed that she can have it in a specific area, but she's supposed to put it away when he's there, because he would drop by your house randomly
Yeah, that was nuts to hear about that.
So-
Our tour guide did such a good job
Yes.
telling the story and talking about Frank Lloyd Wright and how particular he was about things.
Yes, it was really awesome. I decided that I can never live in a Frank Lloyd Wright house. Just not my cup of tea. I'm particular in my own ways, and I just don't think that my particular and his particular would mesh. So
Yeah.
it's what it is.
But it was a very beautiful house.
Yes, I
Very
really like it. It even had a boathouse area and a fountain. It was really nice. We really enjoyed it. It was a great first Frank Lloyd Wright house to check out, and I'm glad we kind of started this little trend of seeing even more, because why not when we're out and about?
All right, so you want to talk about some of your favorite foods while on the road?
Yes. Who doesn't love food? If you think we don't like food, you're in the wrong channel, because we love food.
Yeah.
One of the first places that's on the top of my list is actually still in Iowa. You wouldn't think that when you go over there by Des Moines, a small town of Luther, Iowa, that you'd find some of the best barbecue around. And we did. We didn't plan to go out to eat that night. It's just we took a hike or two that went a little longer than expected. And it's like, hey, let's just grab something before we go back to the camper. And we saw a barbecue place on the way there. Sure, who doesn't like barbecue? Let's stop in. Well, they know what they're doing. Their sausage was great. I think we even had the ribs. They even had wonderful desserts. We talked to the people there, and they even send their cooks down to Texas every year to learn how it's done from the people down in Texas. Very, very good brisket. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we went hiking at Ledges State Park, and we saw this Whatcha Smoking barbecue on the way there and thought, oh, cool. And then on the way home, we were pretty hungry from hiking, and it was getting late. We were like, let's stop at that barbecue place, and holy cow, we were surprised. The barbecue was delicious. We got the brisket, the ribs, and I believe some of the sausage. I don't even know what we got for sides, but that meat was delicious.
I'm sure the sides were good too. Trust me, when we came home, we did not have any complaints about that
No,
meal.
we were like, how can we top this barbecue? Well, we'd have to go all the way to Texas to do so.
And we did.
Yep.
So that's actually a wonderful transition into Snow's barbecue,
Yeah.
another one of my tops, because yeah, you need to get up early to make sure you have a good spot in line to enjoy some of that Snow's barbecue. But it was definitely worth the wait. We got up, at like 5 something in the morning, met a couple of people there that we did not know, but we became good friends by the time we were done waiting in that line. But no, very good. We don't normally go to a barbecue spot and order chicken, but we were told we had to. And we did. And wow,
It was really good.
very, very good chicken. Nice thick coating of pepper, salt, nothing too fancy. They do the mustard base, like a lot of people in Texas do. So just really good, simple, small batch barbecue that in Lexington, Texas.
Yep.
Perfect.
Small
Yeah.
town.
Small town, wonderful. I'm still thinking about those ribs, because I'm not even a rib person. Like I can eat a rib or two. They're good. They taste good, but man, that coating they had on the ribs was really good. So
Yeah, I'm a rib person, and I'll tell you, those are probably the best ribs I've ever had. They were delicious. And like she said, I would never order chicken at a barbecue restaurant, but we heard it was good, so we gave it a try, and wow, we were surprised. That was probably the best chicken I've ever had too. It was just, the skin was so seasoned and crispy, and then the chicken itself was so moist and flavorful. It was so good. I wish we could go back anytime.
right? Yes.
And the brisket was good too, and we got the pork shoulder, which was really good. But yeah, the ribs and the chicken were, I think, both of our favorites. It was really good, and the sides were decent, and I think we got some banana pudding too. And,
Yep.
But after all that meat,
Yeah.
that was
Really liked the meat, and we had plenty. We took some home and we ate it later.
Yeah.
We didn't order everything that was on that plate and then eat it all there. That was way too much. But
Yeah, it was definitely worth the wait. Definitely worth the trip. Tootsie makes good barbecue there at Snow's.
yes, and we got to meet her too, which is really
Oh.
great. But nope, I can definitely go back. Another one that we kind of knew was going to be on our list is New Orleans,
Yes.
mainly because they have so much to offer down there. We tried the Mafletta, authentic po' boys, the chapatulas I had. I think you had the rabbit gumbo.
Jambalaya.
It was a little too spicy for me, so I had the chapatulas.
I went to New Orleans to eat spicy.
Yes, yeah. We just kept trying a whole bunch of new cool things. We did hear about the oysters and that we should try them down there, but we didn't.
I did have an oyster po' boy though, and it was alright.
I did have a bite, but that's about it.
The muffaletta was awesome though. That was something I was really looking forward to eating when we got there, and it was so worth it. We got it twice actually.
Yes, we did. And besides muffaletta, that yes was really good. I didn't think I was gonna like it because the olive base or whatever they put on there. I'm not a big olive fan, but I could not stop eating that muffaletta.
Yeah, it was
really good.
We got it at Napoleon's and they serve it warm, which I think helps because
the melted cheese.
Oh yeah.
And then while we were there, we tried many different po' boys from around the area. I preferred it at Nola Po' Boys. That's where I'd recommend you go because that one's right there.
It's on Bourbon Street.
Yep, right on Bourbon Street. Real good. And a local even said that's a good place to go for a po' boy. So I'm like, yeah, trust the locals, ask around, find a good place to go. But real good, nice bread. But yeah, they just have so much food to offer that's very different than what we have up here in the Midwest.
All right, another one of our favorite food stops was actually in Birmingham, Alabama. We went and ate the best cheeseburger of our life there. Yep. We had the Back 40 burger at Back 40 Brewing Company. It's right across the street from the Sloss Furnaces, which is like a museum thing. It's like old steel furnace that you can walk through. And so when we got done doing the Sloss Furnace, I found a bunch of reviews that said that Back 40 has the best cheeseburger in Birmingham, and we were feeling a cheeseburger, so we're already there at Sloss Furnace. Let's go across the street to Back 40 and check out that cheeseburger. And we got there and it was so busy.
Yes.
It was so busy.
She was going to turn around. I
was like, I don't even know if we can find a parking spot. We should leave. And she's like, you told me this place had the best burger. We're going and trying their burger. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because that was the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life. No kidding. It was perfectly seasoned. The meat and everything was perfectly seasoned. The fries were perfectly seasoned. It was so good. It was just like a double cheeseburger, but it was done so perfectly well. I want it again.
Nice and simple. Literally 2 hamburger patties, 2 slices of cheese. That's it. That's it.
I didn't know Alabama can make such a good cheeseburger, but they're on top for sure.
Yes, very, very good. You don't need all that extra because trust me, it just hit the spot. Because I can do a bacon cheeseburger any day. I wasn't even missing the bacon.
No, yeah.
Or sometimes a California burger with onion, tomato, lettuce. No, you didn't need it. Just a plain double cheeseburger with just perfect. So if you're in the area and you have not had a Back 40 cheeseburger, go get you one because it's good. So then next up is I actually have some fish on the menu from me, who I guess I found out that I actually eat fish and like fish now since this trip. Before this trip, I would eat it occasionally, take a bite here and there, but now I'm actually just ordering fish for myself. I really liked my snapper BLT from the Gulf Incorporated?
Yeah, it was just the Gulf in Orange Beach, Alabama, over by Gulf Shores.
Perfect. I think it was red snapper, bacon, lettuce, tomato. It was grilled. It was just a really good snapper BLT. And yep, I'm recommending a fish sandwich to everybody that knows I never used to eat fish.
Yeah, I got the shrimp tacos there and they were really good too, but I had a couple bites of her snapper BLT, and yeah, I wish I could make one of those because that was delicious. It was super meaty. It's a super meaty fish, and it worked perfectly. They do a good job there at the Gulf.
Okay, so that's a lot of our top parts of the trip, whether it was food related or just a nice area. But some of the reasons why not everything, of course, hits the top of the list is because sometimes you do have issues when you're traveling, and some things just leave like a bad taste in your mouth, or oh well, I can't put it as my top because something I didn't like what happened this week or whatever. One of them was Norfolk. We had a neighbor issue that just left a bad taste in our mouth. You're not gonna like all your neighbors, and these ones weren't our favorite. So that's one. Also, we got a flat tire outside of Little Rock when we were going to our next destination. So of course that's like, okay, well, I don't think of that as my favorite week traveling. And then outside of Waco was another real fun spot. We really enjoyed it. We had a nice, beautiful water view. But then we got sick, and then of course affected traveling day. And of course you just think back to, oh hey, where were we this week? Oh, and then we got sick.
Yeah.
So you don't like to be like, oh well, that's not my favorite place, but nothing about the place was bad or anything. It's just,
no, I liked Waco till then.
Yep, just got sick. So, oh, I should also point out that it snowed. when we were in New Orleans. So we did plan to do more stuff, go see more things, but we at least were able to hit up the parts that we wanted to go see. It did suck that it snowed, but hey, also we were able to experience one of the very, very historical parts in time where it actually snowed in New Orleans and the roads were closed for like 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, we stayed in New Orleans for 2 weeks, and I think most of our second week we spent at the camper because we couldn't go anywhere. It snowed 10 inches in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It set a record. It was wild, and the roads were shut down for like 4 days. We couldn't go anywhere, and then when we thought we could go somewhere, we got stuck in traffic for like 6 hours, and it was totally not worth it. But our second Saturday there, after all the roads opened, was really cool. It made up for it because that's when we went to Oak Alley Plantation and the Whitney Plantation, and we went to downtown
Bourbon Street.
Yeah, we went to Bourbon Street and all that. We had a hurricane at Patty O'Brien's,
yeah.
and so it made up for the days that we were kind of stuck at home, not being able to go anywhere when you're outside of one of the coolest cities in America.
Yeah, and we're not blaming our bad time just on the snow, because we understand. Guess what?
Yeah.
They don't get snow, let alone a lot of snow, to be able to take care of it as we do up here in the Midwest.
10 inches of snow here, and you don't have an excuse to call into work. You still gotta go. But it is kind of cool to be like, hey, one time New Orleans got 10 inches of snow, and that's
we were there.
Week we were there.
I made a snowman.
It was Snowmageddon.
Yep. So that's just some of the reasons, why things necessarily aren't probably on the top for every experience, but we did really enjoy a lot of what we did this first trip. Hence why we do plan to keep doing what we're doing, seeing other spots. But we have learned, that we do like the big city areas, but we also like the smaller towns where you can drive a little bit to go see the cool things, but you can just slow down, enjoy, and experience what's around you. And we just really like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are a few of the things that we liked on our last trip, and we are super excited to start this Eastern trip and make even more memories along the way. Find even more foods that we like, do even more cool things on the road, and I'm really happy that we're able to do this, and I'm excited to see what adventures we get up to as we wander America. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of our adventures.
Please comment on what you really liked about any of the videos you've seen so far. Do you know of anything cool on the East Coast? Let us know. Help us plan our next trip.
Yeah, drop a comment below if you know of any cool places that we should hit up out east or in Florida, or any of the places that we are going to go to.
Heck yeah, we're open. We're open to anything.
Yep. So thanks for watching.
Have a great day.